Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I thought from varsity.
Run Ryan.
Ryan.
And the other thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas were taking more serious.
No way. What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone, welcome to All In, All United. Phil, Lion, fellas, what are we saying? I mean,
I thought it was just me and you tonight from what I saw. Okay.
you know, asking this Manchester United team, right, to convincingly beat 19th place, soon to be relegated Burnley at Old Trafford is too much, you know. Fellas, more points dropped due to very much avoidable errors, again, for the umpteenth time. And we just left to sit and talk about things that we beat already about this team. You know, so much so I don't even know we want to talk about this evening again, fellas, because it's just the same old. You know, and I guess you're already aware that it's official. You know, we will not be playing in Champions League football next season. Right? So, things just going from bad to worse, to worser. And I mean, while these highly paid professionals sitting in their mansions doing essays and thing here, we the fan base who, you know, just love we club, had to pick up the pieces, you know, when they go. Anyway, what we saying, fellas? Phil, Lion, Wagwan.
Not much. I mean, same old with the side. Yes.
Yeah, nothing really changed. I don't know what type of mood I'll be in tonight, but we'll see as the conversation goes along. Right now, I just here for the vibes, honestly. Just like Manchester United football players, just here for the vibes, honestly.
It appear to me that it have no vibes. Them there for money, right? It have no vibes at that club right now, and them fellas just there, you know, passing time, getting a nice little paycheck, and moving on, right? Until the next manager show up, and then rinse, recycle, and repeat. You know, that's what it seems to me.
Always have a mistake on this side. We'll be going good because the game was like fairly 2-2. We get some good chances, but always have a mistake on this side. It's like self-sabotage right through. I don't know if I don't see somebody doing bets on that side or something. Betting on games or something. Because the game before was Onana. That was Casemiro with a header. Somebody betting, man.
No, but as you mentioned it, Lion, right? I mean, who had fault for that earlier? Because I mean, that was the moment when I wouldn't say that was the moment when the game changed, because I think the game was an open game from start to finish. Probably the first 10 minutes we would have, you know, dominated, you know. But sometimes you could just put that down to our team adjusting to the pace, the atmosphere, wherever. So I don't want to go in and say, you know, we had Burnley pinned back in the first 10 minutes. Because Burnley was probably adjusting. But because after that 10 minutes, the game was open and you could argue even. I could even say that Burnley probably had the better the exchanges in terms of possession. Right? So the moment when, you know, the game, we lost control, we lost hold of victory, as we have done so many times this season in late in games. Who or you think responsible for that? Was it Casemiro or Onana?
I can say, honestly, I can say a little of the both. Right? Casemiro not supposed to have that ball there. He had more time than he thought he could have taken down that ball, kick it out. Right? He tried to head it back. I think Onana reaction time was slow. but he probably didn't expect to get that ball back there, right? And he come in a little rash, but he didn't. I would say he didn't expect to get that ball at all, because no way you try to head a ball back there when you see an attacking player close to your keeper. That is suicide. So, I mean, I put more of the blame on Casemiro for that.
What you saying, Phil?
Yeah, Casemiro definitely. I can put it this way: Casemiro definitely set up Onana for. I don't want to say failure, but Casemiro definitely set up Onana. Yes, Onana is the one that caused the penalty, but at the end of the day, both players have to be aware of who is around them. Casemiro could have easily had the ball out, could have been out for a corner, could be out of Onana's way. By the end of the day, both players are at fault, honestly. Who I shifting the blame more towards? Part of me won't go towards Onana, right? But I mean, I will have to watch it over, like, and literally analyze it. But as of right now, I'm more leaning towards Onana.
Yeah, me. To be honest with you, I mean, and people could say that I have my issues with Onana, but I telling you, this is more Onana for me because I watching the amount of times I see players head back the ball to goalkeepers, and goalkeepers take it, the chest back the ball, in circumstances and tight situations like these as well. We go clap them for the composure and for the intelligence for going back at the keeper because earlier, I don't know if earlier watched the couple minutes before that. Every ball that went out, it was coming back. So he wasn't even holding the ball off. We was under waves of pressure. So Casemiro headed our ball back to Onana to reset the football and take pressure off the defense because at that point in time, every time we kicked the ball out, it wasn't going beyond that's, let me just say, the 18-yard or 20-yard in we box, and it was coming back. You understand what I'm saying? So in my assumption, and we just always say, you have to watch the how the ball moving. If Casemiro tried to head that ball out, I was falling right to the top of the D. And you know who was waiting there to slap. So all I'm saying, I mean, hindsight is always of great benefit. Eh? Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is I saw it that the team was under a little bit of pressure where we was not able to get the ball far enough and hold it off to take pressure off the defense. Because Burnley was waving and coming in at waves. So Casemiro probably tell himself, well, you know what, let me get the goalkeeper it right there. He get a ball there, Lion, and bam, everybody had to run back out and we ease the pressure. Because watch back them highlights. That particular time, we was under some pressure. Now, my issue is, even if, right, Casemiro headed back, Onana, this is second time Onana flying like a madman and coughing down people.
But look how much games gone.
But then you will learn nothing then.
What you mean?
How much
There's a
times?
suicide header.
No, but at the same time, Lion, you are the goalkeeper. You have advantage. You have advantage where you have a whole arm's length advantage over every other player on the pitch. And you still cough down the man?
Yeah, because there's a suicide. How you gonna head the ball in the back there? Let's have a player attacking, right? Why you would head the ball back in the 6-yard box?
But Lion was saying is them things happen. Them things happen all the time in football.
Nah, who defender does do that when you're under pressure?
I see that happen plenty times, Lion.
He could have head the ball out for a corner.
From that angle, how he could head the ball out for a corner?
You see where he was? He could have hit it back.
I saw the intention of Casemiro, honestly. I saw the intention. Now, when your teammate makes a poor decision, you yourself still have to make a decision. So, for example, a bad back pass, let's say a bad back pass on the ground, you yourself have to make the decision of to lunge in for a tackle or you have to ease off and let that person or let the opposition come towards you. You, as a player, still have to make a decision, right? If somebody loses the ball on your team, your decision is either to do one of two things: bitch and complain, or two, run back and track, run back and help defend, right? So I get where both Reem and Lion are coming from with regards to suicide pass and yet still having an arm's length decision to make. But at the end of the day, both players are at fault, honestly.
I just want to know why Casemiro apologized to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to in a situation like that, you play the ball back to the keeper. There was a clear misunderstanding, and the keeper come out, notice because he misread everything, and he punched on the player. Now listen, let me put it like this, right, Lion?
One question.
Let me put it like this. Let me just say this one thing, right, Lion? If Onana did not punch the striker, Bissaka had won the header, that would have go out, and nobody would have talked nothing about Casemiro back pass.
Right.
Right? But
Right.
the point is, Onana, being a goalkeeper, his reaction, and it's the second time he do this thing, Lion, where he coughing down people by
How you
time
feel
he
when
jumps now.
How you
You're a
feel when you
goalkeeper
see that
by.
header?
How I feel when I see the header?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I thought, it was a poor decision. But what I'm saying is that decision did not lead to the goal.
Yeah, but how is, if it's a poor decision, how is Onana fault? I just ask.
Because Onana was the one who came out late and clubbed the player.
Because he not expecting that header there. The player attacking and you will head the ball back to your keeper and wait. And not only with that way, it's a weak header. It's a weak header.
I don't know.
And Onana had to cover his 6-yard box. So obviously he go run out. Right? That's a weak header. Casemiro set up the man. Just like that free kick for the FA, the penalty for the FA Cup. That lazy penalty. Casemiro ready to go. He had enough.
Yeah. I find Casemiro a decent game today, to be honest with you.
He had a decent game.
saying?
After so many games, he had a decent game.
No, even against Sheffield United, Casemiro was decent. All I'm saying is Onana has been suspect with plenty of decisions he's been making. Last game he cost with the goal. Last game against Sheffield, he get cocky and passing, no look pass, all kind of nonsense from the back. And today,
No look pass, yes.
you understand what I'm saying?
Wasn't that no look pass? It was just a poor pass.
Nah, that was a no look pass. That was a no look pass, like.
I was watching where he passed. It was a poor pass. It was a terrible pass. It wasn't no look.
I see a kind of think so. I see a kind of think so. Watch that back,
Nah.
right?
Look where yours passed.
Onana. Nah, boy, Onana. Hey, boy. Let me get some comments here. Jesus Action on the inside. Good evening, man. Glory, Man United for life. Yeah, boy. We're going to try a little rough patch. Yeah. He's saying here my few points on the bits of the game I saw. Do you all notice every game we take Menu out for some reason and replace with other midfielders? It's free road for back four and oh no. Right? 2. If Amrabat going back to Fiorentina, why we didn't use Mount as he's more attacking? A full-fledged Man United. And we needed to score. We can't defend in the dying minutes, and Ten Hag gets it wrong more times than any. Right? Yeah. Simeon on the inside, good night to you, man. He's saying Onana got them hands.
Yeah, knock him out, man.
Alright, he shall go to boxing. Alright, Jesus saying here, hear me, Reem. We know that Onono gives. Right? We can't chance it in the dying minutes. Casemiro should have been more clinical at such a juncture. Get the ball out or drop or make a proper. But I don't know if others saw how the ball dropped. The only thing he could do was use his head.
No,
and I don't think
that down, man.
Lion, I don't think if he had tried to use his head to go out, it would have reached far. He'd have set a Burnley player for a shot there earlier.
No, he could have.
Watch back the highlights now.
I saying he could have trapped it.
He could have trapped it in that space right there, boy. I don't think so.
He had room.
I don't
He
think
had
I
a
don't watch that
room.
back boy. I don't watch that back boy. I don't think so, boy.
I'll send it for you. You'll see. He had a room. He could have taken down that ball.
Yeah,
Kick
but
it
you
out.
gotta watch space in context where because Lion that space could get small in a space and a matter of seconds when the players closing it down in the box. That's a risky place. So you gotta get a ball out of there.
Well, play for a foul. Don't head it back to your keeper and
Play for
that
foul. You know, if you let the ball drop, it's something else we will be talking about today. I think the man
Well,
tried to
it's
be
what I-
clever with the right with a pass back to the keeper, which I see happen plenty times in football.
Not when you're under your keeper could be under pressure like that.
Way boy, way.
The wicked ball. They just trying to find ways to blame Onana. Too
Nah,
wicked.
if Onana do shit by.
You see, every game you're saying that.
Severe Senior Manchester like it's like a hardened child. You sent to the market to get a win and come back with everything except all kind of drama. Boy, fellas, let me
Coming time, yes.
boy, here now, I tell you, I getting wary at this football watching Man United play. Boy.
No,
Right?
I'm not surprised anymore. That's the thing, and that's a sad thing. I'm not surprised. I just shake my head and laugh. That's all.
Yeah,
Again, yeah, okay, cool.
yeah.
So
Go ahead, Phil.
So I kind of will land in the same boat where you kind of expect what to happen. But why does do almost after every single Man United match? You know how most fans does go to AFTV when Arsenal lose to see the reactions? I do something similar, but there's one guy on YouTube. He just compile all of these Man United fan channels together to see their reaction when goals score. And it is pure entertainment.
I didn't
Pure
want to see that.
entertainment.
I didn't want to see that.
Huh.
When I done with United for the day, the only thing could make me come back to United is all and all United. I
It's
done.
true.
Only
It's
if we
true.
win, I might watch over some highlights. But if we draw anything, I'm not watching anything. I good.
But fellas, you see, thing is, boy, and it's something I had said, and I think we all kind of agree on in the earlier part of the season, is the manner in which we just drop points. You know, if we really play properly and we see, you know, certain things that are positive in the style and we plan and we methods are how we want to execute the game plan and stuff like that. You know, we go come back and say, well, you know, we get unlucky, you know, but we see what was going on and stuff like that. But there's always some chaos when Manchester United playing. There's always some kind of vibes we on. You understand? No kind of direction. You know, no kind of say, well, okay, we'll move the ball here, move the ball there, and we'll go there, and then we go try to score. And I remember last game, we were talking here, and men was saying, because I mean I thought for the Sheffield game we had a nice little period of possession and we was looking, you know, good, patient, you know, we had a plan, that kind of thing. And men was saying, oh, you know, Ten Hag get the call from upstairs, right, to say play better football. So my question is to the panel and to those in the comments, what happened between Sheffield and Burnley? Go through.
I think today we wasn't clinical too. We get a lot of opportunities today, no? And if we did take away opportunities, we'd have been much better. I think that was one of the major problems today. And obviously, when you don't take your chances, what does happen? The team will build confidence, right? I actually thought this game, after a while, I thought the game was going for a draw. And when Anthony scored, I say, okay, let's see. And it come out to be exactly what I thought it would be after a while. But we had chances to win that game. We just threw it away.
But you see, for me, it's more than just having chances in it. Is the way in which, you know, we create chances, whether, you know, it looking like it was something planned or it was just chances created as part of a chaotic situation now. You understand? Because I don't know if what Phil gonna say, but I saw no kind of control as how I saw it when we played Sheffield. Go through, Phil.
Yeah, Lion is right with regards to the chances. We had some sort of chances, but there were points in the game today where it's almost like we were playing volleyball, where the ball was in the air all the time and we're trying to pass the ball to other players with our head. And what's not right? Like football is played on the ground most of the time, right? There are times where our midfield was just like trying to like do all this whole flicks and tricks with their head. And I'm like, keep the football on the ground, right? I saw today's match and I'm like, for somebody who had never seen a game of football, and you had to put them in front of today's fixture, Manchester United versus Burnley, they would think that football is the hardest game in the world to play. Simple passes that we should be doing, we're making it look difficult. Simple passes. If you can't even have the basics covered, then why even bother? Why even bother play football? Why even bother play for Manchester United? At the end of the day, we got like what 4 or 5 fixtures left, and we need to address the midfield. I think that's the first thing we got to address. Yes, we're gonna need more signings with regards to the wings up top, possibly defense. Not even possibly defense, definitely defense. But this midfield needs to be addressed. A revamp in the midfield come this summer is what is needed because your midfield sets the tone for how other players are going to play. I don't care what nobody tells me.
Yeah, you're right.
If you have a midfield that is bumping the ball always in the air, then other players around you are going to bump the ball in the air and play direct football. If you have a midfield that is playing football on the ground and passing it around, and then they pass it to the winger, and that winger wants to play direct football, guess who's getting shot at? The winger. Because you are not following the instructions of the midfield and possibly the manager. So at the end of the day, yeah, this match had me kind of like a little bit cringed. I've watched worse matches for Manchester United this season. I kind of was either numb or I was just like giving up. But this match was so cringe today as well, honest. It was like almost who can make the most amount of mistakes, Burnley or United? And I'm sure there's 3 other guys for all Burnley, whatever, that saying the exact same shit. That match was cringe, and it was a battle of who could make the most mistakes today. And that's it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll watch Vincent Company post match. And he was saying that their players were confident of leaving Old Trafford with a result, and in the history you would have never even think about something like that. And he said his players were confident of leaving here with a result. You understand? And even at the last minute being 1 down, you will fancy your chances. Because we're so error prone, we're mentally weak. You understand? That anybody, I tell you, St. Benedict's College could go and play against Man United in the Premier League with all the schoolboy abilities and possibly get a result.
No, too bad Burnley won't be facing me next season.
Well, I mean, at least they could say they come Old Trafford and get a result and went toe-to-toe with
They
one of
will be
the...
thinking about that when they get relegated, though.
Well, I mean, it could have happened faster.
Not just saying.
No, but it could have happened faster. Relegation could happen faster for them.
It
But
don't,
as always...
it don't matter who we face right now, everybody confident. So Burnley could say what I want. That ain't nothing to beat your chest for, because right now United ain't that good.
At the same time,
Right?
it's still Manchester United.
Yeah, but
Understand?
we ain't that good, and
But it's still
need-
Manchester United, I hear what you're saying in the Lion, but at the end of the day, it's still Manchester United. You're coming to play. No matter what version of Manchester United it is still Manchester United they're coming to play. You understand what I'm saying?
Everybody know what we need. My daughter know what we need. My deceased grandmother know what we need. This United side needs scrapping, and everybody know that. So
And until we do that,
as you say, Benedict's could come and get points off away right now because
but
even them will know what we need. We lacking, and as Phil said, the midfield is the major problem. I watching Meno. Meno is not the fastest player, and he running back. No one that time I got to take him off. You know how much time he running back? And I agree with the Amrabat sub because Meno has been running all game alone. So to fix that situation now, we had to get somebody who could be with him, right? And there's a big problem there that we do have a midfield because Bruno wants to go all the way up the road and come back. He want to run all over the place, but he didn't want to be disciplined in the middle. If you're playing him as an 8, you don't want to be there. You want to be further up the pitch. Ericsson, like an old train, you can't get much out of him. You have to put Coles in the back because you can't get anything out of Ericsson right now.
let's see the true ball where I think it's Hoyland play Ericsson through. Ericsson had space and that defender I guess catch up to Ericsson and we lost that play.
Ericsson dead. Right
Right
now we squeeze the line so much we can't get no juice again. We are Ericsson in the middle
nobody think about it,
quality with the passes, but he can't run.
And there's it because the way how we just play earlier, we not how to play it, but we're not trying to get the best out of the qualities of the players that we have. We're more exposing them. You understand? So we talk about Kobe Mano not being quick, right? Ericsson dead in the legs. Bruno, if you do par leash on he all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? And we seeing this from match day 1. Right, and where we at now, match day what? To the 2, to the 3. And you're still seeing the same deficiencies in the team. You're still seeing how exposed the weaknesses in these players getting. And we're not protecting the players. We're not playing in such a way to say, well, okay, look at Modric for example. Modric is no quick player either, but you just see Modric bossing along every game. It's because the way how the team display.
For example,
No, but understand the point I'm making.
I'm telling you that.
Go ahead.
Modric and Chomini and Camavinga doing all the dirty work.
No, but the example Reem using is that Camavinga and Chouameni are coached so well by the likes of Ancelotti that they gotta realize keep that ball passing around in the midfield. No long ball because long ball in the air means that the possibility of losing it is very high. You know, so Camavinga and Chouameni know that Modric is not the quickest, right? Modric is still a midfield maestro, but at the end of the day, Modric's weaknesses don't get exposed because the midfield is disciplined and stable and accountable. If you're gonna play long ball, make sure when you play that long ball that is finding a player and our player is running onto it and not an opposition player. Right?
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Who we have that can match them players?
But that's what. But we ain't disagreeing with you. We are actually disagreeing.
No,
but what's saying like?
Because we have this terrible. Because after me, we have
nobody.
You can't use Casemiro to be running like Chouameni and Camavinga. Scott McTominay not good enough. We don't have a cast.
No, but Lion, we're not understanding what the
point understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but even with who we have, right? And we're not talking about this game, where we had to use Casemiro as a centre back. This has been happening through the season. So the point is, you have to know who you have, comparing them ability why it's a Real Madrid player could kind of be unfair, right? But the point is, I think we have enough quality in the team where we could be a little more compact in the midfield and protect the deficiencies in the players in midfield. If we want to play a possession-based game, right, then play a disciplined double pivot now.
With
Play,
who?
well, I was saying, if you play Kobe Mano, and let me just say you play Amrabat in the middle of the park, and you tell these players to be disciplined, because listen to watch, if you watch how Ten Hag have this team set up, it's always one player holding, and it's have 5-6 players up in the box. That's why every time the ball pass the forward line, the attacking players, you always have one midfielder there having to defend against 4 or 5 players running at him, and then you have everybody else jogging back. So the point I'm making is, if we set up a more disciplined midfield where you always have those players playing close together, then I think plenty of them counters and those kind of spaces and real estate that attacking players have against us wouldn't be there. We have too much players running up in attack, and we're not protecting the defensive aspect of the game, especially in midfield. You check it, it's always McTominay and Bruno up there with the front four. And then you just have Meno there. Or if there's no Meno, it's Casemiro alone. And them fellas getting exposed and getting skin out and looking like they ain't good. And by the time 45 minutes, them fellas, well, not 45, but 35 minutes, them fellas toss out.
And just to add on to what Reem's saying, right, before you land, Lion, let's say Bruno and Casemiro are there in the midfield to help with Kobe Menu. If they're not getting back, what they're doing is also looking to dive in and go to ground quickly for tackles. When they get dribble pass, now they gotta use their energy to get back up and then sprint back. That time, opposition player already 40 yards ahead of them after dribbling them.
But I want to ask a question. You all feel it? Another thing is, some of our players just not following instructions.
That
I
as well
believe that.
too. That as
I
well
believe that.
too.
I believe
Yeah.
that.
That as well.
I feel that had to be a big part of it, because I don't think Ten Hag just want to play with an open midfield just like that. I don't think so. I know he wants to squeeze the defense, well, the opposition defense, in terms of crowding them out. But I don't think he wants to play with an open midfield like that where we always running back. I think some of them players just not listening.
And I also think, Lion, is a lack of commitment in terms of the from the players, that is, in terms of the energy and the effort required to press intelligently. You understand, to win back the ball high.
Instead of
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you see sometimes out of we front 6, 2 players alone pressing, and all the opposition doing is boop boop boop, and then break through we press, and then you see men like Bruno, and you can see McTominay head down so, and they turn around and they're jogging back while the opposition bursting on we, and they have one center defensive midfielder there with your centre backs, and them getting skin out trying to recover to avoid conceding.
Sometimes all one and Dalo running back and
Yeah, and you know Dalo had not Dalo, you know Wan-Bissaka had a kind of real careless, casual kind of jog back, and he head down and he just jogging back as though like dread.
I actually getting fed up with Wan-Bissaka though. I am, because let's be real, Wan-Bissaka offers 2 things: speed and a great way to tackle the ball. Right? If those 2 things Wan-Bissaka are slowly losing, then I'll be honest, we don't need him at Manchester United Football Club. Can't cross. Doesn't make those that doesn't make always make those in overlapping runs that are kind of pointless per se, because like at the end of the day, you won't compare one. You won't compare. Your right back must be good going forward and all, but great going backwards as well too, right? And Wan-Bissaka is losing those 2 attributes that makes him like what he is today, which is the ability to tackle well and to be able to make up space. In the last couple of matches that Wan-Bissaka has played, he's jogging.
Yeah, looking good.
When I tell you guys, it's just vibes. It's vibes. That's what it
We
is
need a we need another right back.
for
We need
sure,
another right back for sure.
for sure. But midfield first though. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, midfield should be the priority.
Simeon saying here, yeah, we needed a midfield. I'm looking at all money spent in the forward lines that ain't working. Bro, I really don't know. I really don't know. Like, I keep just watching us play. And, I was watching all the games we play. I can remember much games where we were the better team. You understand? For like a full 90, where we were the better team and we leave the game saying, hey, yeah, boy. You understand? And plenty of we more underwhelming performances because it's easy to get up for a Liverpool or a City or a Arsenal, but it's more so the lower teams who, you know, played better. And I remember the Luton game away, and I here watching this game and scratching my head and asking myself, which team here is Manchester United with all this history? And which team is the team that came from Championship playing the first season in the Premier League in ages?
That Forest game was our next one too, but
Yeah. This season has been so embarrassing in terms of performances.
yeah.
And saying that it brings me on to the next point because and Phil have it in he tag there. Earlier Ten Hag frightening me. Ten Hag frightening
Listen,
me.
the man he kinda right in a way, yeah? But for the mutual supporter. Right? Because we does make the games entertaining. But not for us, not for the fans. We making it entertaining for other people.
No,
Because
but
no
Lion,
no way we could be bringing teams like Burnley and Luton and thing into excitement. No way we should be doing that. So Ten Hag, that comment to me is like he back against the wall and he don't have much to say right now.
well then stay clear of these kind of comments because here we hear what Ten Hag saying here now. We are one of the most dynamic and entertaining teams in the league at this moment. We are creating loads of chances by playing good football. And then he went on to say it was unnecessary to lose control. And I sure a lot of the people here, on the panel, a lot of fans, the comment section, will find it hard to understand how this comment could be coming out of the mouth of the manager of Manchester United and him thinking that this is a justifiable statement. Go through, Phil.
Yeah, when I saw this comment, I was like, so far with Ten Hag's post-match interviews are heading down the same line as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer,
Yeah.
where your back is against the wall, you're walking on eggshells, but you have to say the most positive thing to think that you can still get something out of this team. Because the team morale, the team chemistry, the team stability is already down. To add more kerosene to the fire is not the way Ten Hag and Ole back in the day would have done. But you see a guy like Conte or Mourinho, they will keep it straight with you. Ten Hag right now is making some very deluded comments. And those deluded comments got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer fired. Every time Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made one of his deluded comments after a game, he was always so happy and always smiling. And I'm like, what is there to be happy about, Ole? We just lost this amount we just lost by this amount to this shit team that we supposed to be beating at home. And lo and behold, Ole was fired. The way Ten Hag is heading down is similar to Ole. And I can confidently say that I am going to give Ten Hag until December 2024. If Ten Hag playing the same style of football and making these type of comments is still in a job, Manchester United job, by December 2024, I will be shocked and surprised. I will be surprised.
I feel them don't make a decision on here, man. Somehow I feel like keeping them, man. Maybe that's why I'm making them comments. But he did say, the last press conference, he did mention to a point that he need players. Right? He didn't come out exactly and say that, but he said he needed more quality players. But I just hoping for the best. Ineos putting a team together. So I hope, and they have a lot of good decision makers. I believe they will do what's best for the club.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. On one hand, I want Ten Hag to get, another year, and with the hope that they would start to give him players because we realize Ten Hag talent spotting real off, right? Because I mean, I don't know how much of his signings really, doing anything for us. So I want to see Ten Hag get a proper structure to support him that will, be better in terms of spotting talent, bringing in those players who are coming for a payday, but they're coming to, prove themselves. Like back in the day when Fergie with a spotter Cristiano Ronaldo, bring him in at how old he was when we signed him? 18, 19?
Yeah,
18.
18.
And this fella have the drive and the desire to want to be one of the best. And he achieved nothing, so he come in to prove. Similar to Garnacho, even though Garnacho have plenty work to do still. But these are the kind of players that I want us to start to bring in. Players who would be able to take instructions. Because as you mentioned it, Lion, I really believe as well that these players doing their own thing when they step onto the picture. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Ten Hag game plan and in-game management do have issues, but I believe that them players and them is do their own thing when they step on that pitch and they cross that white line. So you're bringing in players who young, who going to listen to a manager, who have everything to prove, who want to be good, and who talented. That's why I want to see we start to recruit. So I like to see Ten Hag work with them group of players, but Ten Hag got to up his game too. You understand? Because you telling me right after 2 years and you talking that kind of nonsense when I and everybody else, even a blind man, could sit and entertainment there. You understand? But let me get some comments and I'll get back to something that Lion say in terms of coach changing. Right? Simeon saying here that word entertainment. Yeah, I don't know. Like he's selling TV advertising. Yeah. Right? And this on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying Ten Hag comments does have other people laughing at United and he sound desperate. Yeah, but it's like we seeing, like he's seen something everybody else not seeing. Jody on the inside, blessed night to you, man. He's saying therapy in progress, I see. So, fellas, do you all agree with the Menu and Hoyland substitutions at 0-0? Because I mean, you could tell if you was listening to the game, watching the game with volume, the fan base in the stadium wasn't pleased with the substitutions. It was getting boos ringing around. Do you agree with the substitutions? And I guess by now you would have heard Ten Hag's reasoning. What's your thoughts on taking off Menu and Hoyland when he did?
I agree. I agree with taking off Mano. Mano was running too much. Men getting injured by stubbing the toe in the side. So yeah, I agree with him taking him off. He do plenty today. can kill the youth, can burn out the youth already. And honestly, Hoyland wasn't really doing nothing today. Hoyland didn't make much sense today. So to bring on Ahmad to see if he could get something out of him, I think it was a good decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, menu substitutions in the past were not justifiable, but in recent, when Menu has to cover ground for not only himself but whoever is around him in midfield because they refuse to track back, 19-year-old Kobe Menu can only do so much. And that's why I go back to my point from 10 minutes ago. We need to address the midfield problem come this summer. But I digress. Menu substitution made sense. I want to this. I want to keep Manu fresh for that FA Cup final.
Yeah.
I know the team ain't gonna show up, but at least I could rely on Manu for showing up in the FA Cup final. Him, and believe it or not, we wouldn't have said this a season ago, but Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire! That man really defend today.
But Harry Maguire playing well. The guy
He
playing well.
really defend. He
Really defend. He
stopped
defend.
some kind of ball today.
Yeah. Nah,
He
can't
might
fight
have
Maguire,
about
boy.
5 if he didn't stop that.
Yeah, the man playing well these last couple of games. Even putting in some good shifts this season.
Yeah.
But with regards to the Hoyland substitution, yeah, that guy up top, the guy was useless, man. The guy was holding up the ball. There's only so much strength you can rely on with regards to holding up the football. At the end of the day, football is played with what's in between these two ears, right? You can use all the strength in the world, but opposition players are going to catch on to that. When you when you leaning back into me, all you gotta do is shift away,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going falling down, right? That's what's called using your head. So, I mean, Hoyland being subbed, I mean, I'll say it as well. Just similar to Kobe Manu, I kind of want Hoyland fresh for the FA Cup final as well, too, right? We need our best available players for that FA Cup final because
That's all we had to play for.
technically I've given up on the season. I can easily say this here, and Reem can back me up. Many times in 2023, I used to tell Reem this one statement: roll on 2024. That's how much shit we were playing in 2023. Roll on 2024. Reem can show you messages, voice notes, text, whatever. Roll on 2024.
Our season ain't start yet. You know how we just had this game at the start your season off. Our season ain't start.
But I can't even think the game where we could have come on this podcast, review, and say, does our season push on from here?
The game that I thought this season would have pushed off from, you see when we draw with Liverpool?
The 2-2? No, the 0-0.
No. When we beat them in the FA Cup, I say, okay, right. But we had a few games where we looked like we would have do something. But you see that FA Cup game? I say, right, next game. Well, next game I think we lost or something. So our season.
I think the next game. I think after that Liverpool FA Cup victory, I think it was an international break.
Yeah.
And then the players just revert to just being a bunch of shite hongs, boy.
Yeah. This season has started.
Yeah, this season is a trial. A trial. Yeah, boy. I don't know, boy, Reem. I don't know.
Yeah, mute.
Sorry. I want to touch on something here. Now, and it's just my thoughts on the whole Hoyland and Manu sub. And I agree with Talia. When I see the kind of grafting those both players just do, right? because Hoyland more on the physical side and he's be running, barely seeing the ball. I mean, I agree with earlier. I just expect more from him even on the ball because with all the running and hard work he's be doing, I'm not impressed with what when he on the ball where he does give. But
Useless
it
right
don't
now.
take, yeah, but it don't take away from the industry the player just put in for the team, right? On top of that, Kobe as well, having to track back, having to go up, and as a 19-year-old. And you see, for me with Ten Hag, is always a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenario. So Ten Hag had to just put his head down, blank out the noise, and do what he need to do for the team, right? Whether it get him sacked or it get him time, that remains to be seen. But you had to stick to your guns. I mean, change where necessary. But in terms of for this particular matter, I agree with the subs because these are young players. You have to manage the load because if you left them on, and any of them fellas that get pull up with injury, he'd say, you hear the fans, you're playing these fellas too much. This game, that game, thing, and you're still playing them. So I agree. I agree with Lion. I agree with Phil. We want them fellas fit for the next game. We want them fellas fit for the final. You understand? So as much as he could manage them fellas minutes, do it. Because after he took off Hoyland and Meno, not that Meno was bad, right? We know Hoyland was just working hard, right? But we score. So the fact that we conceded in the last minutes of the game was not a result of not having them fellas there.
True.
You understand? And it's not like you sub off Meno for one of the youth players. You bring on McTominay and then you brought on Amrabat. So you attempted to show up the game and it's a mistake that caused us to drop points. So people will when fans in a quandary they will question and rant to every single thing you do if it do work. But once it work, Ten Hag masterclass, tactical masterclass, and all kind of nonsense,
But wait, honestly, any update on Scott?
I was just about to ask that with regards to Scott McTominay, boy.
I hope I hope he will get to recover in West Ham or something. Because
We got a fit Mason Mount on the bench, so play him.
fed up with Scott now. Scott had to go.
Well, you know fed up with Scott, boy.
No, I fed up with Scott seasons now.
Oh,
I mean nothing, you know. Uh, Scott here. I them fellas just picking up space and getting Ten Hag, options that I do think Ten Hag should have, yes. Because it getting annoying with them boy and them. Them fellas and them just ghosting games, you're not offering nothing and then you're showing up and you're scoring a goal and just buying time now, I want to get. I still want to talk about this earlier because I don't think we get to talk about it on the pod here. And we're talking about Marcus Rashford, all right? Marcus Rashford responded to a Twitter post, right? Day before yesterday, right? And the post was the way Marcus Rashford is being treated is absolutely disgusting. It's cruel. It's abuse. And Rashford responded to saying, I appreciate your support. It is abuse and has been for months. Enough is enough. Right? Well, you make this whole Rashford thing and
I wonder how many comments he went through to find that. Because everybody abusing him. Right? And as somebody said, why you don't take a page out of Maguire book and put your head down and play a game? You know how much abuse Maguire take? He take real abuse by every minute you coming on Twitter. Only abusing me too much. Boy, just play a game. Up your game. We know what you could do. Right? Play a game. I think you're nonsense. Just do what you had to do. You're getting paid to do that. You're not getting paid to be on Twitter to reply to abusive comments and appreciating people for having your back. He's a waste of time, yes.
Reem, bring up that picture one more time because I made a point there. Um, okay, just checking. You can take it down now. Nowhere in that comment was Marcus Rashford tagged or mentioned in terms of like at and then the player, then whoever you're following, their
Right.
name comes out and you tag them, right? Nowhere was Marcus Rashford's name mentioned. So as Lion said, and I will repeat what Lion said. How many comments did you have to go through until you found that one comment that is praising you?
Because I show another them comments, he get bashed too. Same one.
No, let me ask some questions here. Marcus Rashford, why do you think you're getting abused? Let's go over to Aston Villa with Ollie Watkins. Is Ollie
But
Watkins getting
Phil,
abused?
let me just jump in before you continue
Yeah.
because but you're going good. But there's a difference for me between abuse, which is unacceptable, and criticism. And I believe for the most part, is criticism that they trying to they pushing as abuse, and I do agree with that. I'm not saying that Marcus Rashford hasn't been probably abused, but I think for the most part, it has been criticism, and criticism that has been justified. Right? Go through, Phil.
No, I guess you're all right. There's a fine line between criticism and verbal abuse. And he's been getting both. An example of verbal abuse is you telling Marcus Rashford, you're shit, leave this club. Criticism is now saying, Marcus Rashford, you could have made a better decision when it came to this play in the 70th minute. Instead of looking to run with the football, you could have taken two touches and possibly made a pass to Hoyland or whoever was in the middle of the field. That's more criticism. Well, that's more criticism, right? Now, at the end of the day, one people can say one is warranted, the other is not. Um, but we all know football is about emotions, right? Football is like a roller coaster of emotions, right? A lot of people have to realize that Marcus Rashford has been abusing our mental stability as Manchester United fans for the last 7 months. So he wouldn't take that into consideration. And it is abuse because the season before, Marcus Rashford set the precedent that he can move on from a 30 plus goal season. And by move on, I mean he can add and soar to new heights, right? Even if he had come close to the 30 goal season and the other goals were shared amongst our wingers and strikers, I could have lived with that. But at the end of the day, Marcus Rashford, you took a dump on Manchester United fans this season. You did. We had your back last season. Starboy this. We started podcasts with this all the time. And what happened this season? What happened this season? You have been absolute garbage for at least 7 months, Marcus Rashford. You have been. And I go back to my original question. And I probably answered it, but Marcus Rashford probably doesn't know this. Why do you think you're getting all of this social media abuse? It's not because of the color of your skin. Let's not go there. Because I can go over to Aston Villa and Ollie Watkins again. Ollie Watkins is getting no criticism. Why? Because he's playing well and he's being consistent. As simple as that. You perform well, the fans will give you praise. You do shit, the fans will be divided. That's what I gotta say. You play shit, the fans will be divided, but you play well, the fans will be united. No pun intended, but anyway.
Well, you gotta realize he doing it for the fans. You know. Is the fans is what it's all about. You know.
But the fans divided, Lion. The fans divided.
Well, people still wanna back him in terms of nonsense. But I don't even feel this man feeding children no more. Fussy and nonsense.
But Lion, you got Lion. I think you probably know this already, but it looks like Marcus Rashford no longer wants to play football for Manchester United. It looks that way to me.
I don't even know if he want to play football again. Because as a player, you must show something. You must have something for yourself. Some sort of pride in yourself. Even though you don't want to play for Manchester United again, you must show something. You tell me you can't beat a player.
You got non-United legends commenting on your form. So that means you were doing something well before.
He can't beat a player. You can't beat one man.
You can't beat one Coventry player. One Coventry player. You can't beat one.
My thing, fellas, is and this why I'm glad they bring up the point where and when you check the account that made the comment, that person don't have a set of followers to say the algorithm go push them up for you to see it, so he had to go looking for that, right? Now the thing is, as a professional footballer, played for Manchester United, it have a lot of positives that has come with it that he is benefiting from. You're highly paid, you understand what I'm saying? You could travel the world, you know, you recognize people letting you into events, all these kind of things. It have plenty perks that comes with the territory. Positives and negatives. You can't accept the positives without the negatives. That is just how it is. You know what I'm saying? And when we saw you, you know, as Phil was mentioning last season, every time you turn, we see you pointing to your head. What that meant? That didn't mean that, you know, you have to be level-headed, you know, you're over the pressure, ting, all them kind of different things you can associate with this. And now when the going get tough, you're to play a victim. You know what I'm saying? You have to know when you're doing well, we will celebrate you. But if you're not showing the fans that you want to be here and you want to work hard for the team, and every time somebody come and criticize you, there is some Twitter post or your brother doing something on Twitter or you're coming on to interview, if you're with me, fine, if you're not with me, wherever, them kind of thing, and then we're not seeing nothing tangible to say, well, okay, well, Marcus Rashford turn a corner. No, and then you're trying to play this victim card and crying abuse. I'm not saying that there hasn't been abuse that the player facing, but I believe the majority is criticism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And criticism is not abuse.
Well,
So-
he mature if he taking it as abuse.
Well, this is it. And again, leave Twitter. Twitter is a cesspool. Leave Twitter alone. Why it is you always choosing to go and to the media and on social media to respond. And you're only talking because when time to go on the pitch now, we're seeing a player that don't want to be on the football field. We're seeing a player that throwing his hand in the air, a player that don't want to track back. Your manager behind you. All you need right now is your manager to be behind you, your teammates to be supporting you, right? And your family to be supporting you. That is the most important things to you. You know what I'm saying? And I believe you have that. Fans, fickle. Let me be real. Earlier we fickle. Today we will blaze Maguire, and tomorrow we will praise Maguire. That is how fandom is. And as a professional, you have to recognize that and accept that. And if you so want the validity, right, of the fan base, then just do what you know the fan base want. Give her effort. Play football. Put your head down and focus on what is important. People working hard, spending their hard-earned money while the club continue to raise prices for merchandise, tickets, season passes, all kind of things, to plane tickets to follow this club all over the world. You understand? So people have a vested interest, and it's obvious when you don't show. You understand that you care. Fans will take it personal. Again, I'm not supporting abuse, But let me don't try and make it as though everything is abuse and not criticism.
I hope you're able to find this podcast just so we find the comment.
You
Yeah,
understand?
boy.
So,
But we had to be supporting him for him to find it. If we criticize him, he can find it. Simeon saying here, waiting on number 7. Boy, here what I telling you, right? Ten Hag gotta take your time with that number 7 because that number 7 could get injured again. Alright? Ethan Lynch on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. Alright? Blessings and love, man. Saying sorry to say I can't wait for the season to be over. Pressure all over. Yeah, boy. Yeah. He doesn't play for the badge anymore. I can't fight Harry. Harry put his head down and worked. Yeah. Harry with his big head put it down and sort of walk with. Simeon Senior man could say I go try harder. We can't get up? Yeah. That's it.
But some
Right.
some football players will respond with their fingers, and some football players will respond with their feet.
yeah.
Know the difference.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, what he's saying is, Rashford just making things bad for himself with all this PR. It's not necessary. We used to criticize the players for them essays after a bad performance. All we want, we don't need no essay. We don't need no apology. All we want is next game for you to go out there and make it right. That's all we ask.
That's all.
Here we're going on, right? Marcus Rashford, you're getting this amount of criticism and abuse in your own country. Imagine if Manchester United had to accept a bid from PSG in France. And PSG fans has criticized Mbappe, who has won a World Cup and is on his way to Real Madrid, obviously, but has won a World Cup. What do you think the reception of you is going to be if you had to travel to any other country that is not England? Think about it long and hard, Marcus Rashford, because at the end of the day, most of your fan base is in England. You leave and you go to another club in a different country, you're going to see what abuse is like.
You can handle that. You turn to Jesse Lingard.
Ethan saying here, Harry never responded. Harry mother begged for her son Harry to work to stay. I don't know if I'm reading that right. I didn't catch this one.
No, Harry mother make comments about the abuse. I think they asked Harry about it, but he just say he just trying to do his best, and he say criticism will always come. That's how it is.
Yeah, Ethan saying here Lingard, Sancho and Pogba is his brethren.
I wonder if he doing that because of Sancho, boy. It's Rashford.
He will go on Twitter. Yeah? A kid on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying Harry Maguire was abused and not once responded. He will call out this podcast just now. We paying a man 350,000 to feed kids. Rashford had to do better. You understand? You can't be doing this when things going good and when things going bad. This not existing anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So Rashford, if you're watching this podcast, it's not because we don't like you. You know? Stop the PR and do what they're saying here. Right? Put your head down and work now, man. And show that you want to be a Manchester United player. Fellas, I have a next one for you. I know Nico just being my normal go-to fella. Alright? What is this? One is a penalty and one is not a penalty. All I want to guess which one is the penalty. The one where the ball hitting the red jersey. You understand? And the one where the red jersey kicking the ball onto the, and it's hitting the yellow jersey, that is not a penalty. And I'm trying to understand what is with the inconsistencies. You know? All we're going on with VAR.
I come like that one Basaka one. When they see Grealish shown, Grealish stick out the hand, so not a penalty. I don't understand. to me, sometimes when you're on top, you just get the favorable decisions, right? United not in a place to get those decisions, even with VAR. And it's supposed to, the VAR supposed to level the playing field, but it's not. So you could see it have corruption in the VAR too. And we not getting calls. We not getting calls. Even the Garnacho, I watch it over and say, but wait, O'Shea kicked Garnacho. I thought he dived, but O'Shea kicked him down.
He did.
And
He,
we didn't get
he
that.
did get kicked. Yeah.
Yeah. But he kicked him. So I don't know. Maybe Ineos might rub some shoulders with it. It might be different next season. Because at a time, all let's get now, he complain. Now they're fighting for the title, he getting thing in the favor. So we need to be up there to get it, maybe. I'm just saying.
What are you saying, Phil?
Well, VAR is in other sports, you know. The whole going to a monitor to review a play is in other sports. Sure, there's very little inconsistency in those other sports, but it's not as inconsistent as it is in the English Premier League. At the end of the day, and I've said this many times, the same way managers and players give post-match interviews, referees and officials should do the exact same thing. Because I don't mind it being inconsistently bad. Okay, if it's inconsistently bad, sure. But it's just inconsistent. Inconsistently good, inconsistently bad. It's just right down the middle. How on God's green earth, as you see in that picture, where both players have their hands in a natural position, because you can't walk like this or run like this here. You're not a damn penguin, right? You got to walk and run with your hands like this here, right? Your hands balance your body. Now, why is this so inconsistent? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is it down to somebody being paid off? No comment. I don't want this. I don't want the show to get cancelled.
Even the commentators and them saying, oh, they cannot kick the ball to play a hand and get a penalty. No way that's a penalty. What? When it happened the week before, you didn't hear nothing. Yeah, definitely a penalty.
I still need to get the gist, and there's not United related. I still need to get the gist of what Newcastle said in relation to Everton as well, because there was a big bacchanal this week with regards to not Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, right? That's it.
Forest.
I want to know what happened in that Forest Everton game that it caused them. The fact that a club has to do that, and even Pochettino's comments today with regards to Chelsea versus Aston Villa, that's how you know the refereeing is bad. Because at the end of the day, clubs and managers don't care anymore. Fine me $10,000, $20,000. I don't care anymore. We're exposing you.
Yeah, it's too much nonsense.
Exposing VAR and
Too much
referees
nonsense.
inconsistently. Fine me. I don't care. One time, 2 seasons ago, you couldn't say nothing because you
Now
know
they-
you will get
yeah.
fined. But
Yeah,
these
now
days,
they care.
they care no more.
Yeah.
No more.
Look back this game that played Tuesday, City when they play Brighton. Phil Foden, some goes past and touch Phil Foden and he fall down. Referee blow the whistle in a dangerous place. Free kick, bam, City score. João Pedro going into the box. Guardiola, whatever his name is.
Guardiola, yeah.
Yeah, that man, he trip. João Pedro, referee wave off that, you know. And everybody watching us and saying, but what's it? We don't know what's going on. You even went to the monitor, nothing. They just wave off that as no penalty. And I'm saying, wow, I wonder if it was the other way around. If a City player was in the box. Because look, even when we played Chelsea and Dalot, goes touch Madueke and they get the penalty. But so much contact against João Pedro and no penalty was already inconsistencies what killing this game big time. Big time, big time, big time. And it favoring some teams consistently. Lynch is saying here the line is very blurred, the English FA disgusting. No doubt. Simeon saying here still run by same referees that make mistakes and inconsistent before. Yeah. I think as Nicole had put it last time, it's not AI, it's just same human beings with their agendas and their motives with the ability to watch something over in slow motion. Alright. Lynch is saying here, draw a line now so we could have an idea of what's a penalty and what's not exactly. You know, yeah, because it varies on the team, the day and the referee. And it should have something standardized, man. You know, it can't be dependent on which referee on the day and how he feel and how he get up in the morning. Anyway, Ten Hag are all talking about it now. So, as I say, Phil, more and more coaches and managers go start to talk more about it. And at some point, these referees and VAR officials will have to be, you know, held accountable. Last talking point earlier, before we look to wrap it. What are our thoughts on reports about Thomas Tuchel being spoken to by Ineos to take over next season if they decide to part ways with Eric Ten Hag?
It was both Thomas Tuchel and Zidane, or it's just Ineos speaking with Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, in recent time, Thomas Tuchel's name is the one that up front.
I'm quite curious to see what he can do in the first season at Manchester United, because I think when Thomas Tuchel is in a first season at a club, he does well. But I don't think that we should head down that route, because that's us just, I don't want to say going backwards, but not making any progression. Ole did well in his first season. Ten Hag did well in his first season. I know those guys are fired / about to go down that route. There's a reason why Thomas Tuchel was let go by PSG, and also he's leaving Bayern Munich at the end of the season. And also why he left, why he was why he got fired from Chelsea as well too, right? First season. Let's say Ineos do decide to pull the plug on Ten Hag and hire Tuchel for the 2024-2025 season. We could be on podcasts saying good things about Thomas Tuchel and how the players are getting behind him and what's not, right? But then come the 2025-2026 season. All you gotta do is all you gotta do is replay all United videos from now. That's all you gotta do.
Anybody we bring had to be able to build their own side. Got to be able to build the side from foundation up. But I don't know how to feel about him, because he ever since he has been a failure. So I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I will land on that as well. I'm against it. Now, us being linked with Zidane saying he would rather come to the United than Bayern Munich. I could possibly get behind that. I could get behind that. I would actually buy a Zidane jersey.
Yeah, rather Zidane or Sporting coach.
Amarin.
Yeah, rather him than Tuchel. Rather Angassi than Tuchel.
The man reject both West Ham and Liverpool, boy.
Yeah, he looking for our next job. You see.
But I wonder if he would take over from Ancelotti. Was that Zidane jersey? Oh.
Now Ancelotti job is going to Alonso. Alonso waiting for one more season for that.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know, boy, but I had liked Thomas but I find he does get into players. He does have too much issues with players, and the last thing I want is to see a manager just going into players, you know, especially with how the culture at our club is right now. It could end very very quickly because we know it easier to for other clubs to sell players, but at Man United it's not that easy, and I don't think it'll get easier for Ineos unless they intend um, to experience heavy losses and limitations by FFP. So they still had to, kind of toe the line um, with how they release players. So some of these toxic players will still be here under Tuchel. And I'm telling you, I go see clashes. You know, and again, I don't know, I can't remember whether it's Philo or Lion that make mention. The first season gonna be real good. Because most coaches, if not all, the first season is be good because everybody wants to play good for the manager.
Trying to impress him, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that is when it is reverted to the second season failures. As what we experiencing now under Ten Hag. You know what I'm saying? So, I've been honest, I'm not a fan of the Tuchel appointment. I mean, I'm really hoping that, with Ineos and with all these people, Barada and Wilcox and where's the next guy who on garden leave from Newcastle? What's his name again?
Ashworth.
Ashworth. I kind of want to believe that these fellas are a lot more knowledgeable and more well connected to find not the obvious available options. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're looking for a right back, and we have a million scouts all over the place, and we sign the most obvious right back in Wan-Bissaka. This is not what I expecting from Ineos with all these upstairs appointments. I expecting that these guys, would take the time, they would do the research, and they would get the right man to come in if they parting ways with Ten Hag. Not just because Tuchel are available and he have little experience, he win a Champions League with Chelsea, and he do this here. No. Give him more than that. Because Champions League winners fail Mourinho. You understand? Legends of the game, Van Gaal fail. You understand what I'm saying? Feel good, coaches, Oli fail. Ten Hag, up and coming, he could possibly fail if you'll decide to terminate him. So let this appointment, be something well thought out and not just because, Tuchel available. And that is my thing on this. Alright. Yeah, so I think that brings us to the end. We have Crystal Palace in 9 days. I think it's next week, Monday.
It'll be a tough one.
That will be a tough one. Palace have lost a game in the last 5 or 4,
Yeah.
You understand? And the way we playing, and we going to Sellers Park, and Palace on the up. Olise back. Is he have a little injury? I don't know if he could be available for that game.
He didn't play today?
Nah, he didn't play today. But whether he there or he a day, you can't tell where we get from this Man United team.
True.
I mean, the good thing is, Ten Hag say, some players coming back. He called Martinez,
Sure.
Shaw, Varane, and Martial. He said them fellas coming back. They're just trying. He said next week, they will start team training, and hopefully within a week or two they should be back in contention. Let me hope that's help.
Again, to see Martial, but
Yeah, the final hurrah before he throw frame.
you're gonna get injured again.
Anyway, fellas, I think that brings us to the end of the pod. It was nice, Thanks for Phil and Lion, and even those in the comments, Continue to like and share. Don't forget to be on YouTube as well. So if you haven't already, go across there and subscribe now. I appreciate it. So, guys, we don't know what's gonna happen between now and And the next time we hear, we don't know what kind of news might pop up. So we might be talking about our eventual sacking. We might talk about, we don't know. We don't know.
Ashworth.
Ashworth might, we might get some agreement with the compensation with Newcastle, and he go finish off his garden leave time, whatever. So,
Well, actually,
so
not on garden leave. Huh?
He's not on garden leave.
I wouldn't say so because we don't agree anything with him.
No, but he not. Yes, he on garden leave. He not. He not at Newcastle because remember he asked. So he off right now. He on
taking
garden
them
leave.
to court.
So
He
you
taking
can't take them
Newcastle
to court
to
on
court
garden
right
leave.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're trying to get how much? Like 13 million for him?
No, 20. It's not 20.
Trying to get 20 million for him.
Yeah.
Well, I hear it may be 6 million up front and 6 million in add-ons, but you never know.
That's
Add-ons?
something like that.
What kind of add-ons is that?
I know, right?
If you
So
sign
that way
good
you
players
can
for Man
have to
United,
pay.
you'll get. If you sign good players, you have to pay the extra 6 million. What kind of add-ons? Anyway, fellas, it was nice. So have a good one. See you on the next one, fellas. Good night.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, take care.